Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Please like, subscribe, consider becoming a member if you like the content, and make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Now, we did a live last night where I touched on some things, but somebody asked me, they said, hey, without all the side commentary and reading through all the comments and the call-ins, can you just give me that presentation without all that? I said, yeah, cool. So that's what I'm going to do this morning, man. It'll be a lot shorter than a 3-hour live, and we can get to the point. That way, for those who really want to, hear those talking points, they can take it and digest it, and then add that to their conversation when they're talking about what's going on out there with Claressa Shields, Franchon, all the drama out there right now, and Laila's name being mentioned. Now, let's just get to the core of the controversy, okay? First and foremost, Claressa Shields and Franchon Crews are fighting this weekend on Sunday, the 22nd of February. Should be a historic women's fight, all right? Should be a whole lot of hype around that fight. Everybody should be talking about it. The whole world should be buzzing because you have two Olympians. One is a two-time gold medalist. The other person is an accomplished amateur and an accomplished professional. Is actually undisputed at one point in time, but now is a unified champion at 168. Claressa's undisputed at heavyweight. But instead of all the hype around these two outstanding athletes, beautiful black women, right? What you got is distrust, you got frustration, you got anger, you got disdain, and you got disbelief by fans and by the boxing community. Now, there's a growing group of fans who believe, and they'll sit there and tell you, vehemently, yo, Hood champion, people, listen. Fight's not real competition. The outcome's already decided. Claressa is meant to win no matter what happens in the ring. This is what many people feel, okay? The belief comes from how friendly Claressa and Franchon appear publicly, how business interests line up. Well, basically like, yo, Claressa wins. If Claressa wins, then Wynn Records wins. Then Dmitry Salita wins. And ultimately, those are the two who really matter when it comes to the business lining up. And how much money is invested in Claressa compared to Franchon. Even Franchon has talked about knowing that she's fighting Claressa. And how she knows Claressa is with the promoter, one of the promoters for the fight. And basically saying she's sleeping with him. So who do you think that they want to win? So it sounds like Franchon knows what she's up against. And this is why fans are saying, hey, ain't no way in the world they're going to let Franchon win this fight. She had to knock her out. But let me continue on with why fans think the fight is fixed. Fans argue, turn that ringer off, that Claressa is the financial asset. Franchon is the opponent of convenience. Claressa represents a major brand, a multi-weight champion, an Olympic legend. Franchon represents risk, upset potential, less financial upside for promoters. This is why many fans believe Claressa, Wynn Records, and Dmitry Salita have too much to lose if Claressa loses. Now, if Franchon wins, Claressa's undefeated record collapses. The GOAT brand comes to an end, sponsorship value drops, which doesn't seem to be much value there anyway. And future super fights lose leverage. Because the O matters, the undefeated record matters, and the whole thing about Claressa and the brand that she's been, that she's created and trying to cultivate, everything about that brand surrounds or evolves around the 2 gold medals and being undefeated. So if Claressa were to lose, future super fights lose leverage, and big time money is lost for Dmitry Salita and Wynn Records. And also, Papoose is part of Wynn Records. Fans say Franchon winning, it helps Franchon. Really nobody else. And Claressa wins helps everyone. So just trying to understand the fan psychology, because you listen to them, fans feel this is not about boxing skill anymore. This is about business protection. Claressa is the business and they're there to protect her. So the belief Claressa must win, no risk can be taken, creates suspicion of judging, suspicion of refereeing, suspicion of fight pacing, which I'm going to be paying attention, because we're going to know within the first couple rounds if there's some funny business. Like, it's going to be blatantly obvious if there's some funny business going on between Claressa, Franchon, with them judges, with the referee, we're gonna know. Because I know how Franchon fights. But if she out there like pulling back like Mike Tyson, Jake Paul type fight, we're gonna know that there's some bullshit going on. But some fans openly say if Claressa wins by knockout, they'll call it fake because Franchon's never really been hurt, never been knocked out. How Claressa, who has 3 knockouts in 17 fights, all of a sudden gonna knock out Franchon, who has an impenetrable chin. Now, if Claressa wins by decision, they're gonna say, oh shit was rigged, especially if the fight was competitive. But if Franchon wins, they're gonna say, oh, that shit was a miracle. How does she make that happen? Because she ain't supposed to win the fight. Now I'm gonna tell you, Franchon, she says she's fighting for her mother. This fight is personal. I believe her, 100%. You see, so now you got the fans who are split into 2 camps. Camp 1 saying, yo, she gonna fight like hell. Camp 2 saying, oh, she just playing a role, don't believe nothing Franchon's saying. Now I'm gonna tell you, along with the supporters of Franchon, that look, we're gonna argue that she's never been stopped. She has pride. She has nothing to lose. Okay? But the critics of Franchon are gonna argue she's too friendly with Claressa. She's not trash talking. She's not using the drama as fuel. And I do think there's a bit of a too chummy problem here. Fighters usually talk trash, create tension, build rivalry. Claressa and Franchon appear respectful, appear relaxed, appear cooperative, which is highly unusual and very odd, although I know there's a relationship between the two. But I just think it's way too cooperative, way too relaxed and respectful. And fans are interpreting this as a business partnership, basically saying, hey, them two had a conversation. Look, let's make this fight. You get paid more money than you ever been paid, but Franchon will tell you the money she's making for Claressa is not the most money she's ever been paid. But that's what fans are saying, and they figure that Claressa I gotta win. And you know, we keep you active and then you continue to fight another day. There's no bad blood feud here. This is just friends looking out for each other. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when I watch it, I kind of get it when you want to hook your friend up. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, real fights come with real emotions. Where's the real emotion? And this is why even I'm looking like, I know Franchon's going to fight, but even I'm looking with a little bit of a hairy eyeball like, yo, where's the real emotion? But the fans and the critics, they're like, this is bullcrap, Hood. This not a real fight. Shit looks like a contract, not a war. Where's the war? Where's the war face, the war cry? Where the hollow points? And to that I say in the most respectful way, I hear you. Somebody not holding their horses and taking it to the stupid. Because it does look like a contract. But I just don't think Franchon Crews is going to do nothing crazy. I think she's going to fight tooth and nail to win. But, you know, forget about Claressa and Franchon for a second. This whole thing about Laila Ali, the Laila Ali problem returns. You know, something had to get under my skin for me to come out here and start talking about this again. And I'm going to keep talking about it because they don't care. They don't care what they say. So I don't care. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I try to sit here and be kind of, understanding and be like, you know what, that ain't my style. I'm not going to be ridiculous and negative and all that. But I'm going to talk my talk, man. If they want to come out here and still mention Laila Ali's name and try to embarrass her and all that and just be real fucking immature. Well, then, all right, well, her champion going to talk. Right? I got a mouth, too. Laila Ali's name being brought up again publicly, that's just crazy to me. Now, we all know that the Wynn record in Salita, talking about $15 million, Laila rejected it. I don't even know why they mentioned her name, but I know why, because they want to use it to promote the fight. It's just clout chasing. Laila's made her videos. She's not interested. She stayed quiet since. She doesn't even want reporters asking her about Claressa. She sure as hell don't care about no Wynn records. No goddamn papoose. She don't care about none of that shit. She don't care. She just out here in the breeze doing her thing. And I'm sure it'd probably just have her shaking her head like, these people still mentioning my damn name. And that's why a lot of fans are like, yo, this whole story should be dead. But Claressa's camp keeps reviving it. Like, they just need to let that shit go. You know what I mean? It's over. That's like a dude with a receding hairline. That's like Gerald Big Baby Miller in the ring with the wig on his head. Like, my man, it's over. Don't be out there putting no wig on your head, man. Shave that shit off. Let it go. The hair's gone. And that's basically what they're doing. This Wynn Records team. It's like they're putting a man wig on after their head going. They got a big bald spot in their head, losing their hair. Nah, stop trying to put a man wig on here. Let that shit go. But I tell you what, I think the whole team is chasing clout. Claressa was expected, not to mention Laila. Fans did not expect Wynn record leadership to come out there and do it. And that changed the perception. Because people now realize, all right, this ain't just Claressa, it's the whole team that's obsessed with Laila Ali in a payday. They want that 15, 20, 30, 40 million. They know if they fight Laila Ali, the money that they're going to make. And that's what they're all hoping for. But that ain't no way. I'm telling you, Laila doesn't want her name attached to Claressa in any way, shape, or form. Period. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her, man. Even if Claressa wasn't saying nothing crazy about Laila and the whole disrespect from the whole woke team about Laila Ali's father, Muhammad Ali, she still wouldn't want nothing to do with that shit. But they done went and took it to the stupid. So you know she already made her point. She's like, this is my position, and no, I'm not deviating. But it's a team strategy over there with Claressa and Wynn Records. And even Dmitry Salita, I got to group them in there too. It's a team strategy. You know, it's not just Claressa talking. It's a whole team over there. And they will never get that fight. And that's good, because they're money-hungry snakes, man. That's what they are. That's what I say, money-hungry snake theory. Fans are now saying Claressa's surrounded by people who want money. A lot of people already felt that way, but now it's blatantly obvious that that's what they want. They just see Laila Ali's name as a payday. That's why they keep bringing up the effing name. Fans believe the team want Ali legacy attention. They do. They want controversy. They do. They want headlines. They do, but they ain't getting it. The only people on social media talking about it, really me. Everybody else talking about her personal life. But I'm telling you, that's what the team wants. They want that August Ali legacy attention, and they think they just want to benefit however they can. It's pretty sickening to sit back and observe all this play out, to be quite frank with you. The fans fear that Claressa doesn't see it. There's some people out here like, okay, she really doesn't see it. She's so caught up in her emotions for her man. Papoose, you know what I'm saying? They're like, she trusts her team. She's caught up in this guy. She's blinded. She's being used as a face of a money chase. And they're like, yo, snap out of it, Claressa. She's not trying to. Fans are sitting back watching. Yo, this is a money chase. It's an Ali name grab theory that's going on here, man. That's all it is, an Ali name grab theory. Fans think Team GOAT wants history, legacy, big money. They see Ali as the ultimate symbol, the biggest name in boxing. And I'm going to keep saying it. Why in the world would these people be pursuing Laila Ali, who's damn near 50 and been retired for however long, talking about, oh, she disrespected me and she did. Man, none of that happened. But now we know what's going on. It wasn't just Claressa out here. That's them sitting here saying, yo, say this, say that, do this. That's what it is. So there was no rivalry between Laila and Claressa. There was never any rivalry. Shit's just exploitation. And I'm telling you right now, man, look, the Ali family is being poked deliberately. It's deliberately being done. It's really tacky. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I said this the other day, but since I'm talking, it just popped up in my mind. I actually know somebody who's involved in boxing. They're a pretty big deal. We talk regularly. I would never say who it was. But they told me some shit about what they were thinking about doing and saying when it came to a certain fighter who just went through something very horrific. And what they were thinking about saying about that fighter in that situation to get under their skin to try to force them or pull them or lure them into a fight. And I said, don't do it. I said, that's crazy. That shit is suicide if you're going to do that. And I ain't gonna say exactly what it was, but I couldn't believe that they were thinking along those lines. But after that person said that, someone who I got a good relationship with, I just told me that, man, these people will do anything for that Wu-Tang cream, cha-ching, ching, dollar, dollar bill, y'all. You know what I mean? They will do and say anything. So that's why when you watch what's going on here with the Claressa Shields team and the Ali name grab theory that I formulated, man, they really out here looking for a reaction, looking for some kind of leverage. They're looking for attention. But I'm going to tell you, all it's done is damaged Claressa's brand. When you sit back and look at the way they've been moving her, it's just been counterproductive. Claressa should be richer. That's just how I feel. I think Claressa should be a gazillionaire, but I know why she's not. And I know why she probably never will be. Because she got the wrong people around her. Claressa should be more respected. This shit is like Showtime at the Apollo. This shit is entertaining but ghetto. She should be more moving like the Grammys. Claressa should be more respected. Every day people lose respect for her. Claressa should have big time endorsement deals. It's not there. So fans are sitting back watching, especially after yesterday. They're like, you know what? Yeah, Claressa, she creates a lot of her own misery, but it's that team of hers. That image they created, that drama they created, has destroyed Claressa's brand. And I believe that shit too. I ain't gonna lie. I do believe that. I'm watching, I just shake my head. All that talent, all them accomplishments and brand just being destroyed every day, just being fragmented. Soon it's going to be turned to powder, dust, and just in the breeze and be no more. We talked about this last night, but her Olympic success should have translated to corporate support. But who in the corporate world wants to support Claressa Shields with everything she has going around her? From the social media drama to the things that she comes out and says. And the number one thing that all the women talk about is her relationship with a married man, okay? Corporate, I'll tell you, I did a video about all this and just talking about when it comes to sponsors and brands and how they don't want to attach themselves to anyone who's in these kind of relationships. And I gave specific examples of people from actors and athletes who've experienced sponsors and different brands cutting them off, cutting ties with them because of their personal life and personal relationships, personal drama. And that's what you're seeing happening with Claressa Shields. Like, what I'm telling you, I'm not making up. And I did the research on that shit. That is the norm. But even if, for those of you who don't agree with me, how about this? If you got a neighbor who you know is beating the shit out of his wife, or the woman over there beating the shit out of her kids, you get invited to come over there to the house. You going over there? She said, oh, you can let your kids come over, have a play date with my kids. You letting your kids go over there? You ain't going over there like, no, fuck that. That dude be beating the shit out of his wife. And hell no, my kids ain't going to play with them kids because she be beating the shit out of her kids. You ain't going over there. That's the thing. People don't like to be around that negativity and toxicity and drama. But the reality is Claressa's pro-dominance should have translated to mega fame. It has not. Maybe in her mind, but it has not. You can wear all the furs you want. Pink, blue, yellow, green, orange, tangerine color, whatever the hell you want to wear. That don't mean shit. Because right now, Claressa is known for controversy. She's tied to constant beef. She's associated with chaos. And her team is right there behind it. As a result, it seems like they're trying to figure things out. That's why there's like this obsession narrative, man. You know, it's like everything with this team has just, and Laila Ali has turned into a fixation. Laila Ali's name just won't go away. Like, they just can't leave the Laila Ali name alone, the Ali name alone. They feel it's crazy. Fans are like, yo, this shit should be over. It should be buried. Why in the world, right before a fight, in a press conference, I'll put it to you that way, you want to revive mentioning Laila Ali's name. You want to talk about the money that you guys are ready to give her right before the promotion. You want to come and revive what tension that you feel is there that's not there. So fans are like, yo, they're obsessed with this. They're obsessed with Laila Ali. Oh, so beautiful Laila. Yeah, they oh so obsessed with Laila. And I'm just sitting back watching the impact on the Franchon fight. Because fans now see this fight as a setup, business move, branding tool. They're watching for the referee behavior. They're watching them scorecards, watching the crowd reaction. They're like, okay, if Claressa loses, there's going to be some chaos. But if Franchon wins, the story explodes. But at the same time, we're looking saying, yo, we don't know if we're really going to get a real, authentic fight. Because it seems like a setup and a business move to help Claressa and not Franchon. I'll tell you what, there's some consequences if Claressa loses, man. Social media is going to be... I don't even have to explain that one. You know what I was about to say. Y'all know what social media is going to do. That whole GOAT, self-proclaimed GOAT brand, that shit collapses. Because everything about the brand is built on her being undefeated. That aura of invincibility goes up in flames. And to be honest with you, fans are going to blame her whole team. The whole team. Fans also say the drama will multiply. I believe it will. The Ali talk would backfire, of course. And the obsession narrative would grow. Hell yeah. I agree with all that. But I'm gonna tell you this: we need to really sit here and ask the question, why this is bigger than one fight? Because in my opinion, this is about trust in boxing, trust in women's boxing, trust in promoters. If this shit is all scripted, it hurts women's boxing. Now, if you listen to Claressa, she's going to tell you how, all the great things she's done for women's boxing, and like she's, single-handedly led the effort. But if this fight looks like there's an ounce of shadiness to it, that shit's going to hurt women's boxing, destroy Claressa Shields. It's going to make Dmitry Salita look crazy. Most people already think Papoose and Wynn records look crazy because these guys keep showing up with black shades on. You know what I'm saying? Who can take you serious when you showing up with black shades on? You don't look professional. So as a result, fans fear that the sport looks fake. This whole sport in boxing looks scripted to them. And this shit with the fight with these two, it just looks like it's business first. So it is what it is, but I'm going to tell you right now, this drama is hurting her image. And many fans feel women's boxing being disrespected. And they feel that Laila Ali's name is off limits. They shouldn't be mentioning her. So is this a real fight or a business decision? We're going to find out in a couple of days, aren't we? Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.